The following program is made possible by the partners of Honor Grace Consulting. Yahweh TV and Matamba Power Facebook profile accounts. Assume no responsibility or liability for opinions shared on this program. Thank you.
And welcome to the Global Symposium. I'm your host, THIESS DUMBUYA. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, I do not know, but let's get acquainted over the information that God is providing. The Global Symposium is an open dialogue for people around the world, regardless to your faith, regardless to your education, regardless to any other social, economic condition, status, or nationality. We are not involved in any of that. What we are involved in is giving you the truth about technology and its dangers and the deception of technology. It's very important to human life that you understand the dangers that come along with this wonderful, helpful tool. Everybody is just praising the good things about technology without recognizing there's more to it and it's dangerous. And it can be very destructive to your lives, regardless to your faith or educational level or social economic condition. Now, don't take my word for it. There are scholars in every field around the world that are saying the same thing, including people credited with starting or being the father of technology. I'm going to call some of their names today, and I encourage you to get their books, read their books, and understand even summaries of what they have said about technology, where it's headed, what we can do about protecting ourselves, and the things we need to know and consider. Okay, so let me start here. Many of you have been invited to the Global Symposium. The Global Symposium's one purpose is to open a conversation. That is what a symposium is, an open conversation, an exchange, a discussion, so that people can understand what each other has to say and bring to the table. Along that line, you're invited to submit by email, and sometimes we'll have live call-in where you can come and bring your questions, provide answers, or make comment as part of the Global Symposium. This is not my symposium or someone's symposium. This is all of our symposium that are human beings around the world, because we need to share the information about the dangers of the Global Symposium. If you've noticed people in your family getting on technology and not socializing with each other as much, not talking, not laughing, not hugging as much because they're occupied in the symposium, that is one of the dangers, and that is one of the deceptions. A deception is something you don't know is there, or something you don't see coming, or something that is not truthful, and something that is not overtly exposed, commonly known. That you're aware of. Okay, so some of the technological problems and objections, let's go over that. All right. Health and healthcare, medicine, pharmaceuticals, all these things are engaged with technology, with your care, with your body, with your family members, with your local areas, with your government, with your law, with your education. Okay, we have to be aware, how is the technology affecting us? If you get on technology, you're engaging your mind to concentrate and focus on what you're looking at, what you're listening to, what you're concerned with at that time. So if you stay on technology a long time, now your mental ability, your mental energy, your mental focus, your mental concentration is absorbed, if not consumed, in whatever that subject is that you're letting into your mind, you're bringing to your life, you're causing to occupy your time. I'm not blaming you. I'm bringing you aware of the fact that you need to monitor how much time you spend on the internet. And What are the things that you're doing or engaged in while you're there? So for some people, when they're on the internet, they're listening to things and their hands are involved and they're sitting fairly still. Sitting still is not good for human health for long periods of time. So we have to be aware and concentrate and monitor how much we are on the internet, how much are we staying still, how long. We also have to notice our posture, our behavior. If your circulation may be affected by the way you're leaning or sitting, or the way you have your legs, are they elevated or what have you. There are many details involved with health and the internet, and we will spend whole broadcasts on just that subject. And it's not something to be taken lightly. Being on the internet can cause you to feel like you have to rely on the internet to get information, to do research, to do calculations. Relying solely on the internet is a bad idea because the internet also can be inaccurate. The internet may bring you false news, false information. The internet may manipulate you. Now, when we were talking about data collection just briefly for a second ago, people getting your information in terms of your privacy and how would different informations be used, one of the ways it can be used is to manipulate you. And that is a deception of the technology. You get on the technology, you relax. You're not worried about anything. You want to learn, you think it's great, boom, 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 you're on there, you love it more and more and more, you're using it, but you're not realizing what is the technology taking from you? What is the technology stealing from you? How is the technology deceiving you? And how is the technology destructive to you? You need to know that, and you need to understand that it operates. It's relentless. It doesn't have to ask your permission. If you don't give it permission, it's still taking certain things. Now we have AI crawling through technology, crawling through apps, crawling through email, crawling through whatever, and gaining information that's personal, private, privileged about you, your family, your assets, if you own anything. It can observe all kinds of things, where you are, what's the population around you. Why is that relevant? Well, it could be used in many ways that are not positive. And this is an alarm for many people involved in the industry. So it should be an alarm for you. It should be an alarm for those of you in different segments of society. Why? Because it's identifying so much about you to an unknown source. And what is the unknown source's motive? What is the unknown source's agenda? What is the unknown source doing with your private information? How are they going to use it? We know they're using it to cater certain things to you in terms of what you actually see and what you actually hear on the internet, what kind of ads they're introducing you to. Do you really think it stops there? I ask you to think about that. Do you really think that the people behind the technology are just getting the information? They're just storing it. They're not doing anything with it. That's not the truth. On this show, I will try to bring you the truth. I will try, first of all, to make sure that it's truthful for myself. Then I will share it with you in a I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to build a name for myself or a ministry for myself or reputation beyond sharing the knowledge. Take it, share it, run with it. So let's go on with the list. So in the educational system and in technology, all technology that we know of, there are biases. There are biases, just like there are in society, against different people for different reasons, uh, different types of biases. That should not be allowed when we're creating a new technology, a new algorithm system, a new artificial intelligence to try to stop some of the things that are wrong in society. So why would we mechanically put them in to the new system? Okay, let me go on with the list. Part of the things we are also concerned with in the deception and potential destructive nature, if you will, of technologies, they have the ability to copy, to duplicate, to clone. Some people are very concerned, as they should be, about cloning a person, a personality, their voice, their gestures, and then you could put forth something as if it's them and mislead people about them. That's very dangerous. Suppose the presidents of different countries were cloned and duplicated, replicated, represented as saying things against each other that they did not say, that they don't mean, and they couldn't even be aware of, but it's going on in a public manner, a public display. That's dangerous. The same thing if someone just impersonates you or your spouse or your family member or your child asking for help at a location, and you go there and the child is not there, and now they've manipulated you out of your house. Okay, I'm giving you an example that some of the foolishness that could take place, as well as some of the serious things with government that could take place. Let's talk about something else. If we can give false information and we can give false indications, we can give false signals, we can give false registry. Okay, number one, you can get a lot of information about a person or entity by eliciting something under false pretenses. So apply this to the infrastructure in countries. If your water supply, if your electricity, if your highway traffic, a lot of things that are being handed over to technology to control, if those things are shut down by technology, where does that leave human beings? And how do you recourse it? If you're talking to a person, you usually can go to their supervisor. You can usually go up the chain to the headquarters. When you're dealing with machinery taking over communication by 2025, where are you going to get corrections made, recourse? What about for people who are impaired in their vision, who can't see to email and text, who can't see to fill out slots and click the right button? What about them? What about people who can see it and can't understand that you can only put these answers in a certain way, or the technology is going to dismiss you, discharge you, not address your issue? Suppose your issue is getting an ambulance. We have to rethink giving technology so much control over human life. You would not let any person or group of people come into your life, run everything, be in everything, know everything about you, your children, your home, your family, your business, everything to do with your country, everything to do with your cities and your states, and just hand it over to them. Why on earth would anyone think that that is a good idea? Because once you hand over that control, number one, how do you get it back? How do you stop it if you need to? See, technology doesn't discuss with us safeguards against technology. Technology keeps giving you different kinds of answers. If you go in ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT, what are the objections to technology? It will list for you some objections, but it will also provide, quote, remedies or solutions to most all the things that they tell you is a problem. Why? Because I'm wondering, and you can check this out for yourself and get back to me. What is it that technology is programmed to do? Does it appease us? For example, if you type in an idea into technology and the technology answers you, oh, that's a great idea. Everything that you typed in almost, that's a good idea. Would you like me to help you explore that? That's a wonderful notion. Let's try to document that in the outline. Would you like me to help you write a book about it? I mean, what I'm saying is that if you give technology certain things and they're not destructive worldwide, they'll just come back with a positive answer. And a lot of times they'll give you inaccurate answers. They'll give you inaccurate answers unless you call them on it. I've had this happen to me. That's why I can talk about it. I've had the ChatGPT not give me an accurate answer. And then I can say to it, well, that's not accurate. Go back and check your facts. And it can say it doesn't know something. And if I tell it, check your general history and tell me from your history, has this ever occurred? And then give me the information. Now it's giving me information. So there are some things we need to understand about the way the technology is logically programmed or organized. And unless we're in that field and area of study and science, we don't know. So there's too much at stake. If technology can impact your medical care, your food, your clothing, your water supply, it's dangerous. If it can impact your government, your law and legal system, it's dangerous. If it can impact your financial system, your currency, your monetary flow and exchange, it's dangerous. So that's the main point of the Global Symposium, is to raise awareness to the fact that there are realistic dangers that affect all human life. Let's deal with a couple of more while I can think of them. We talked about growing, not in this program, but we talked about growing. If you own land, let's say in Africa, and you're not very educated, and technology comes to your land and your nation, you don't know how to use it, you don't have any devices, it's still affecting you. Then people come and try to get you to go into smart farming. Well, you're giving up your control because you don't know anything about smart agriculture. And now someone's going to come in with technology, own your land, pay you something. Do you know what they're making? Do you know where your crops are going? Do you know anything about how to stop the technology from being operational in your land that you own? Are they now trying to buy your land? I mean, there are a lot of technology related subjects that we must protect to protect people. We have to make people aware first and then move on to preparation. What do you do? How can you respond and allow people to do that? All right, I'm going to name some of the many names, and this is not an exhaustive list, but it will get you started. Many names of people who have spoken out against technology, who are leaders and who are astutely aware. That is, they're very, very aware of the problems. They cite the problems. We'll call that their contentions or conjectures. And these are proven things that really do occur with technology by these people. And they have books out, many of them, or they have reports out to the industry and in the global community that you can grab out of the internet or wherever you can buy them. And if you can't buy them, many of them will be sharing and discussing in future programs on this broadcast. Because you need to know, and you need to know that it's credible information from credible sources at top universities, top institutions around the world that have no reason, no mixed motive, no conflicts in why they're exposing this danger they are sincerely concerned about. Okay, so Kate Crawford is one of those people. Nick Bostrom is one of those people. Even Elon Musk is one of those voices against the destructive and dangerous aspects of technology. I may say this wrong, but Darren Ajimbola, I may say it wrong, but don't worry. We'll get their names up on screen, maybe next broadcast, and actually maybe even create links that are posted on the broadcast where you can go and get their books. Darren and Simon Johnson wrote a book together, and they are voices in the global platforms about the dangers of technology and warning people about the possibility of destruction and what is destructive now. Stuart Russell is one of those people. These are very credible people. You can look them up and you'll find them. Jeffrey Hinton, he is another person that has written about and spoken out about and list for you and I to learn about the destruction and dangers and deceptions of technology and what we need to do about it. I already mentioned Elon Musk and Margaret Mitchell. While I don't know that Margaret has any books out, She does publish reports, and she does have articles that you can read about the dangers of technology. Sherry Turkle, she has a book out, and you certainly can get it and read about it. And next broadcast, I promise you, I'll have their names and their books for you to know the titles of their books. And also, I may have the ability for you to connect with them or where they're at. If they're at MIT or Stanford or wherever, we will try to list for you a way to double check what I'm saying. I want you to vet what I'm saying. I want you to research it. I want you to investigate it. Why? Because it's truth, and you need to know for yourself, be convicted about it, understand it, believe it, and spread the word to every living person, even to your children. Please have a conversation. Which reminds me, we have some video ebooks coming out and a live broadcast reading books to children about the dangers of technology in a manner and a platform that children would not be scared, but be aware. Don't click the buttons except for what your parents tell you, because you could let other people that should not be connected with you and your family have access to you and maybe your family. So we don't want to click the buttons or go anywhere on the internet that our parents don't authorize. So it's a whole series of books and live broadcast and animation, and I'm sure you'll love it. And I know it will be helpful for your children as well as my children or my grandchildren. And so I invite you to come on the Timber TV and Yahweh TV on Saturday and Sunday mornings, and Monday through Friday in the afternoons after school, that the children can listen and enjoy the fun broadcast and be warned and understand. Okay. Next on the list is, Sherry Turkle. Sherry Turkle has a book out, maybe more than one, about warning us about the dangers of internet technology. Listen, it doesn't matter if you are whatever faith you are. Here is the information. I'm handing it to you. I'm giving it to you. I'm asking you to review it. Look at it. Research it yourself. Why? Because we need to protect human life together. We need to be in agreement about protecting human life, rights, choices, decisions. Africa has a chance to stand up before they let this widespread academic, excused, justified help, faster, better, whatever, into their nations uncontrolled. There are too many people in Africa undereducated and in poverty that will be the hardest hit, that can stand up and own businesses and be educated and informed before you let this technology into your countries. Before the Chamber of Commerce, I call on you, make the information and broadcast available to the people in your nation. United Nations, I beg you, make some kind of policy indication that does not allow people to be harmed and pillaged for whatever they don't know, and submit to something they have no idea what they're allowing. They have no idea what they're submitting to. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not humane. It's not just. And it should not be legal. Government leaders in every nation in Africa, I invite you to come on to this broadcast and tell, what are you doing to protect the people in your nation against the dangers and the predatory issues and the destruction that can come through technology to people in your nation that we love, that we care about. Humanity has to lock arms on this issue. Africa can arise as a leadership voice in the global community with great respect by saying, no, not in Africa, not till you fix it. We will not let you come here again and pillage our children and our families and break up our cultures and break up and disrupt our communities. For what? For what? Do you need to go faster? Do you need that information greater? Do you need their money? You know how to survive without it. You have survived without it. That is not your only option. I open a conversation with you on many things that can happen. Let Africa be opened and have online virtual businesses, free education and teaching for the people who don't have devices and access to Wi-Fi. Open up a way in Africa for this type of solar stewardship over utilities so that they can get it and they don't have to buy electricity. Listen, there is lighting readily available and it's not expensive. Little lighting, I would say 6 inches by maybe 5, that you could place in the households in Africa that would gain the sun every day and light it up until the next morning with no problem whatsoever because you have access to the sun. And let me just say one more thing about this whole idea that, oh, technology is not dangerous. I believe it was World International Forum, or one of these global forums on LinkedIn I saw, and I thank God for it. It was telling about how climate was slowing down the rotation. And because of the slowed rotation, it was interfering with the GPS signal. I think it said the GPS signal was maybe 6 days delayed. And someone brought up the issue, well, if technology is delayed and interfered with for 6 days, and we don't know how long it could be interfered with, what if it's 2 or 3 weeks? What if it's 2 months? Now, if we have all these things dependent and reliant on technology, and the technology slows down and doesn't function, now what happens? What happens? Africa, you have to raise up manufacturing. You have to make your own coffee. The world's in a shortage and it's out of supply. Africa, you have to unite your people on this issue. I speak to you all across all faith lines. It's not important about other things as much as it is about human life. We have to dry fruit. We have to dry vegetables and preserve them and package them. We must preserve lives, and Africa can step into a leadership role to do this. I'm now going to welcome Apostle Innocent Udu. I'm saying it wrong, Chinadu, Apostle Chinadu. If you would like to say 2 words to the people, please do. And then we'll go to Apostle Joseph. Thank you very much.
Greetings from West Africa, Nigeria. Thank you, Apostle THIESS. To lend my voice to this, like we have been trying to educate our people, information is power. It's very important that people are educated properly in regards to the advantage and disadvantage of AI. We know very well that technology, like what we are using today, is the product of technology. That's why we can reach the world. It has its advantage. But the other side of it is that it makes men lazy. It makes people lazy. Last time we had a report that a whole university canceled an exam because people were using AI to write the exam. They went to sleep and set AI to write the exam for them. And that will make us produce graduates without intelligence. Graduates that are dummies, that they cannot produce and affect the society positively. So
Okay, Apostle became frozen. All right, so let us go on. And the issue is, yes, technology can make you lazy. And let me help explain how that happens. Number one, when we start relying on technology, we stop thinking. When we stop thinking over a period of time, we can actually forget how to do something. These are 2 of the dangers that I didn't mention yet. However, they exist and they're real threats. So if you forget how to grow food and the technology fails to grow your food, now where are you? If you forget how to calculate mathematics, and you need to, now where are you? You see, we cannot put our reliance and dependence in the hands of technology. This is one of the warnings from the experts, real experts, not AI experts. Okay, I heard him say that we are broadcasting only because and through technology, but I say to you that before technology communicating, if we use shortwave radio, whatever we use, we are able to communicate. If we use mouth-to-mouth storytelling, we can communicate, and we must continue to keep those things open and available. CB radios, whatever it is that operates on shortwave, we must continue to use other forms of communication and life function and growing and so forth than technology, so that we cannot be utterly reliant upon it. Technology cannot be allowed to trick us into dependency. And that is another objection to AI, is people can become reliant and dependent. And one of the other ones that I want to bring up in this broadcast is that there's a human propensity at some point to prefer the technology to human beings, that people would rather engage with machinery than to interact with each other, that the fellowship time. This is very important. Most of the crimes that are committed in society dealing with mass murders are from people who felt alienated and ostracized and distant from other human beings. Sociopaths. That's exactly where most of them come from, some type of alienated position. No, I'm not a psychiatrist. No, I'm not a psychologist, but these two can be verified facts by you in the internet or in a library or with a person that is educated and experienced in the field. So let me say in closing the show that you can reach us on social media platforms, Global Symposium. You can reach us on LinkedIn. We have opened a LinkedIn account. It's under my name at the present, BUYA. I thank you for listening to the broadcast, and I want to tell you that this broadcast was presented and provided to you by HonorGraceConsulting.com. HonorGraceConsulting.com started by myself. I'm the founder, and the reason it was started was to help provide funds for helping people in Africa go into business and supporting them with consulting. So we have a humanitarian service department. We welcome your donations. We welcome your purchase of client services for $75, which is half of the industry standard. We will use the monies that you donate towards helping people in Africa, even other countries like India, go into business for themselves. We believe that if we provide free education and support, that we can lift people out of poverty and they'll still have their independence. Of those people standing with me in the founding of this global symposium, Dr. Joseph, Dr. Innocent, Dr. Nakoro, Nwokoro, Nwokoro, and Dr. Charles Wachniki, Nwachineke. Their books, and Dr. Roland, yes, let me not forget Dr. Roland, Dr. Roland Talbot, Tabot. These men are from different nations in Africa. They're all apostles, they're all doctors, and they all discuss different subjects, the dangers of technology. And this is just the first in the series of our broadcast and of our publishing for you to learn more about the subject and share it with other people. Now, as you learn it, please share it. These broadcasts can be linked and continue throughout, as long as you keep promoting them and pushing them. It would be very helpful to people around the world if you will just broadcast the information that we are sharing and have shared here today. I thank you for the broadcast. I thank you for being a part of the Global Symposium. It was made for you. And I want to go a little bit further. I think I have a little bit more time about connecting. Every person in the world is welcome to send in questions, to send in comments, to send in remarks when we open phone lines. Please feel free if you want to discuss. We are not here to argue. We are not trying to force anyone to see our view. We are not trying to force anyone to participate, but this is here to help humanity across the world. Please come together and hear and listen to the Global Symposium broadcast. If you want to broadcast the shows, please let us know. We'll be happy to send you it. It's no problem. We just want other people to be able to have the information and to protect human beings and to plead with the sources that we need to protect ourselves from technology, from its destruction. And we have separate information and broadcasting for the church. That is the Christian church. We also are willing to meet with imams and other people of other faiths. That's no problem. We're not here to make you try to convert you. That's not what we're trying to do. We'd be happy to share the information within your formats. We do not even have any objection to your getting the information directly from us. You're welcome to do that. And, I hope you'll feel comfortable and respected as human beings as you deal with me and the people who are with me in this project. It is a global project and it will not stop because technology is not stopped. So we will continue this lifelong and generation after generation, but we will have to improve how technology interacts with people. That being said, let me share with you a couple of more things that are very relevant. I have received encouragement from members of one or two governments, and I am grateful. I would like to say thank you without mentioning who they are or why they may have contacted me. But what they said was, this is good. We were also worried about the technology, and you're going in the right direction. And I've even let them know how I'm going to reach out to many media sources to please carry the information. Please let people know about it. Please hold meetings in your nation. Please gather people around your personal cell phone and let them understand. If you don't have a big monitor, if you don't have a laptop or a tablet, let people be gathered and hear the information. If you can't broadcast it like that, tell them. Tell them any way you can. You people in the arts, Hollywood, people who make songs, you video makers, please include something about the dangers of the technology and direct them to a source where they can get reliable information about protecting human life against the dangers and the pitfalls and the destruction that is possible, likely, or even already occurring through technology. I don't know that we covered the 20 list. We have a list of 20 dangers about technology that we cite, and we'll start as we continue to post these things. You won't just see me, you'll see posts of questions and answers. You're able to get our PDFs, just send for them. I don't know if we can post the email today, but maybe later the production team at Yahweh TV can post it so that you can connect with us and we can post on our social medias how you can get involved, how you can get the PDFs, the books, the downloads, the video broadcasts, whatever you need. We would like to supply you and support you going forth and sharing the information, because everyone needs to know, whether they're children through adults, they need to know how dangerous it is. I have a video clip of some Muslim leaders that are fathers causing their teenagers to crush their cell phones on camera because they said it's evil, and they're bringing you evil through that phone. And you can hear them say it for themselves, what they said. And I say that to you because it's not just me. I may be one little woman that took a little bit of my income and tried my best to make a difference in this world to protect you and your loved ones and generations to come, as well as the one that now is, from submitting and surrendering our freedom, our choices, our control, and our voices into the internet to never be heard from again. By the way, Mark Zuckerberg, if I'm not mistaken, in closing, has a video online. Please Google it. He said he heard a discussion of people who create these new algorithms, and he heard them discussing they need to create a way to take our minds and our brains out of our bodies and put them into technology and leave our bodies until our bodies die. He said, no, this is bad. No, you guys are going too far. And then he made this video. So I need Mr. Zuckerberg, if I'm in error, please correct me. But I saw this video. I don't know if I saved it. I don't know if it was really you or you were being cloned. But I just want to say that thank you for taking a stand apart from these people. And thank you for making the video if you made it, because you're telling the truth. It's secretive what is going on. It's not something out in the open. And it's not something that serves the interest of humanity, of peace, of loving kindness, of being a neighbor to your neighbors. And we must put some better control. All of these voices agree. We must put a better level of operating technology into the technology. We must put some checks and balances into the technology. And Mark, what's his name? No, Nick Bostrom. There's a very good article of conversation from Nick Bostrom. I got it yesterday, and I was reading it over and sending it out because he too has positioned himself to now try to counter the wrong things that are going on through technology. He doesn't know if we'll get to it in time. He also has an idea how long it might take to actually perfect it and implement it, which I thought for some reason might be 15 or 20 years, but don't quote me on that. When I'm not sure of something, I'll tell you, I'm not sure. So, there are a few things I wasn't sure when I went over them today, but I urge you to try to Google the article. It was very good. It was in depth. It's by a publication that you can subscribe to. And the publication prides itself on in-depth dealing with the issues of technology and AI development. So it's a credible source. I thank you for letting me fulfill this mandate. And please feel free to reach out to me as a family member around this world, because that's who I am. I'm just one more member of humanity that's reaching out in love, that's reaching out in kindness. I'm sorry the commercial's playing, so you can't see my sincerity, but I'm just reaching out with my own sincerity and love and kindness to you and your family, saying, God, please protect our children and our families from the dangers and the destructions coming against our lives through technology. And let us stay as one, be in unity with everybody human that is not subscribing and not submitting to just lay down for destruction and deception in this thing, this dangled carrot. Oh, I can help you. I can make it better. You can do it faster. Guess what? If it's not that fast, the only thing that won't happen is you're getting money faster or everybody getting the information faster. But it still can happen, and it can happen in healthy ways. We can keep the speed without the destruction. We must change the focus. We must change the guidelines. We must change the algorithms. We must change the considerations for human life and the value of human life over machines and monetary gain or land gains. It is discussed in some of these top voices in the world about how the technology can be used to try to take over and have these land battles of who's going to control what land and so forth. We're going in the wrong direction on these things. We need to lay down the weaponry, lay down the fight, coexist. Governments need to shift in the direction of peace and stop trying to build a greater bomb, a greater arm, a greater something that you can use to fight with. We don't need to keep making those things greater. We need to change the way we're interacting with each other and value each other and not fight. We need to respect the life. And this is one thing I found in Africa when I lived there. People looked at me as a white person and they didn't like me for all the things that were done against them. But the point is, when I needed help, when I was sick, when I was helpless, they band together and took care of me. I saw Muslim men cry out to their God and ask God for me not to die. They had no reason to do that except being decent human beings. I saw people aligned to protect me, to feed me, to help me sit up and drink liquid. And when I couldn't eat or drink, I saw them come around the clock and take care of me. Strangers who had no reason, no motive except humanity. And they could go right back to not liking me and wanting to be my friend afterwards. But when someone is sick and someone is at that point, they rush in like decent people and do the right things. And that's what we need to do with the technology. We need to rush in algorithm creators, we need to rush in and do the right thing and change the way technology is operating and not allow it to operate against any human being that is not trying to hurt, harm, or destroy another human being. We need to fix the system. Okay, I want to tell you thank you. I want to tell you thank you. I want to ask you to take part. It's yours. Harness the information. Share the information. Give it to everybody you can. Don't charge anybody for it. Just give it to them. Why? Because it's freely came to you. Just give it to them. Help them understand technology has danger. Yes, we can use it. Yes, it can benefit us. Yes, it can teach us faster. So it teaches us faster. What do we do with the knowledge? It makes us more money. What do we do with the money? You understand? We have to follow through the whole picture. We have to follow through the whole process. We have to do something that people cannot just come on the internet and make up stuff and harm people. No, we don't want to go to a whole censorship. No, of course not. The world wants freedom of speech, but there's responsibility that comes with freedoms. And one of those responsibilities is to respect your life, other people's life, and the way I see it, to respect God. Now, I know there are atheists and agnostics that may be watching this broadcast, and they have a right to choose whatever they think. I'm not trying to change their minds. But I do believe that there are some atheists and agnostics that will be able to say, I want to share the information. I want other people to be protected and have freedom of choice. And guess what? We are not against you. We are not going to take a position against you as a human being if you want to share the information to protect other people, because that is what this is about. Let's educate, let's inform, let's help people to prepare themselves in the way they use technology. Okay, so join me on future broadcasts to delve in deep, taking a deep dive into different aspects of humanity and how we can protect each other and ourselves from the technology. And I assure you that the other gentlemen that are with me, the Apostle Doctors that all have books coming out on the subject, that stand with me and have undergirded this broadcast and this movement, they will be at times leading these discussions. They will definitely be commenting, and they will be doing broadcasts. So if you don't see my face, don't worry about it. If it comes on this broadcast, I will do everything in my power to make sure that it's truth, that it's rightly presented to you, that you are not manipulated, and that you are not withheld in any way from taking the knowledge and running with it. I thank everyone who is a part of this now, and every leader in different faith groups. If you want the information to execute in your faith, please let us know. We're happy to receive you. We also have a news channel on WhatsApp that also offers a lot of information, and our social media sites on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Everywhere we can, we put the information. So if you don't get the television broadcast, if you don't get the visual broadcast, you may be able to see it there, or you may be able to see the written comments and promos that keep going forth to teach the information. And they're not promoting me. They're promoting the information about technology that you can share. You're free to take them, paste them, forward them, whatever you want to do with them that does not behave in a disrespectful manner to the information, because human lives are involved. Human lives are at stake. If you'd like to be a guest on this broadcast and you have information to contribute, please, again, contact us. Our email is very easy: US, Canada, US, Africa, US, India @gmail.com. I'll state that again: US, Canada, US, Africa, US, India @gmail.com. I thank you for the broadcast. And in the last few seconds, winding down to 50 minutes, I will say to you from the bottom of my heart, God bless you. Thank you very much.
The following program is made possible by the partners of Honor Grace Consulting. Yahweh TV and Matumba Power Facebook profile accounts. Assume no responsibility or liability for opinions shared on this program. Thank you.
Shalom, I am Matumba Power. I have a special announcement for you. Yahweh TV is an online Christian platform with the mandate of enriching lives and glorifying Christ through different developing kingdom programs that seeks to inspire both your intimacy and depth with and in Christ Jesus, strategically aiming at empowering you to dominate all spheres of influence for King Jesus. By the grace of God, we are daily streaming live on YouTube and on 6 different Facebook platforms simultaneously, currently reaching about 96 nations of the world in 5 continents of our globe. Did you know you can do your Facebook Live with Yahweh TV online studios from the comfort of your home, anywhere in the world, and receive live production support while changing lives in 96 nations so far? For our silver package, you get 16 appearances for 30 minutes. We do your logo design, your intro and outro video for your program, and give you a live production support during your live streaming. While for our gold package, you get 40 times appearances for 55 minutes. We still give you your free logo design, your intro and your outro videos, and also a live production support. Finally, remember that Yahweh TV is in partnership with Matimba Online Store, located on our website matimbapower.com, where as an author and also as a recording gospel artist, you can sell your music, ebooks, audiobooks, and sermons in that space. Matimba Online Store does also the production of ebooks and audiobooks at a reasonable fee. Act now and touch lives for Jesus. Shalom.